Hello and welcome to this session which introduces the Microsoft Online Services and how they're licensed. My name's Louise Ulrich and it's my pleasure to take you through these slides. They support the module with the same name in the Microsoft Licensing Solutions Specialist certifications at getlicensingready.com, and if you need reference material you'll find handouts at that site as well. Let's start off with an introductory section looking at the services that are available, how they're typically licensed and how customers may purchase them. These are the online services that are available for customers, and they're all licensed in exactly the same way, with user subscription licenses assigned to individual users. We're going to cover each of the products in turn throughout this session. We'll start with looking at the bottom there at Windows 10 Enterprise, the client operating system, and then we'll move on to the productivity tools like Office 365 to see exactly what's available in terms of plans like Office 365 E1 or components such as Exchange Online. Then we'll cover Enterprise Mobility and Security, or EMS, and bring it all together with Microsoft 365. We'll end with Dynamics 365 and take a look at the functionality these tools enable customers with. So, how do customers buy these user subscription licenses? Today there are three main ways for a customer to buy. First of all, they may purchase licenses direct from Microsoft's website, and customers who buy in this way are often known as Web Direct customers. Most, although not all, online services are available in this way, and customers pay for licenses upfront either annually or monthly, and there are often cost benefits associated with paying for licenses annually. Customers buying through the Web Direct method are often self-sufficient businesses requiring no help with choice or deployment of products. Customers that would like to work with a partner and benefit from that partner's advice and support services buy through that partner via the Cloud Solution Provider program. Again, customers may choose to pay for online services upfront either annually or monthly. And the final way to buy is through a volume licensing agreement, perhaps an enterprise agreement or one of the open or open value agreements. Purchases through these agreements are typically transacted with partners, and here a customer pays for licenses upfront annually. Let's now spend a little bit more time in this section getting to know a bit about the different products that we know are available and taking a closer look at how they're licensed. We'll start with Windows 10, which, as we said, is the client operating system. Now, Windows 10 is typically installed on the user's device, although it may be delivered to their device through some sort of virtualization technology. And in the past, Windows has always been licensed by device. Wherever the software is being used, there needs to be a license assigned to that device. That means that any user can use Windows on that device since the device itself is licensed. Years ago, when there were fewer PCs and perhaps more people shared devices, this was a great way of licensing Windows. These days, of course, many of us have multiple devices, and if each device needs to be licensed separately, then this could potentially be rather expensive. And thus, not so long ago, user licensing was introduced for Windows, which of course means that you buy a license for the user, and then that user may install and use Windows on a number of devices. And today, customers have a choice as to whether they license Windows by device or by user. This slide shows all the Windows 10 licenses that are available for customers to buy, and you can see with the blue headings at the left-hand side that they're split into device licenses, user licenses, and add-ons. These add-ons allow customers to change between device and user licensing, for example. Then, next in the dark grey column, there are all the different editions that are available for businesses to buy, ranging from Windows 10 Pro up to Windows 10 Enterprise E5 with, as you can imagine, an increasing range of functionality. The blue headings at the top correspond to the three ways to buy that we considered earlier. Now, I've replaced Web Direct here with Retail specifically for Windows to take into account that customers don't just buy through Microsoft's website, of course. Many people buy Windows pre-installed on a device, perhaps from a real live store. Then we've got CSP, and then the last three columns correspond to some of the different volume licensing agreements. And what you can see here, of course, is that the license you want to buy is very much dependent on the way you're going to buy. For instance, it's only possible to buy device licenses for Windows 10 Pro through any of the retail channels. Through CSP, it's only possible to buy user licenses for Windows 10 Enterprise E3 and E5. And through the open programs, only device licenses are available. Bigger customers buying through an enterprise agreement are able to choose almost anything. So this session is about buying user subscription licenses for the products that we talked about, and you can see that for Windows, a customer may choose to buy these licenses through CSP or volume licensing agreements such as the EA, and in fact the MPSA would fit in there as well. So the next set of licenses to consider are those for Office 365. You may well be familiar with the idea that Office 365 is a family of products including online versions of SharePoint, Exchange and Skype for Business, as well as the familiar Office applications such as Word, Excel and PowerPoint. Again, they're all licensed with a user subscription license, and customers can either choose to buy licenses for the individual components that you see here, or they can buy a collection of them known as a plan. Let's take a look at the plans available. Let's get oriented with what this slide is showing us. At the left-hand side in blue are the groups of components in Office 365. So at the top we've got Office, and this includes the traditional Office applications that you would install on a PC, or next row your tablet, or next row your smartphone device. The rights allow installation on up to 5 devices of each type, enough for anyone I should think. Then Office for the web is using the Office applications through the browser. The Office 365 plans include a whole host of productivity tools, and I've just chosen a couple of collaboration tools such as Yammer and Teams here. Then there's Exchange for email, SharePoint for collaboration, and Skype for different ways of communicating. These are typically licensed with Plan 1 or Plan 2 licenses, with access to more functionality being included in Plan 2. Strictly, Plan 2 includes Plan 1, but I've put them as separate ticks on this diagram so that it's easier to see where more functionality is included. At the bottom are some specialist tools for analytics or tools for sophisticated security and compliance solutions. So we said that these components can be acquired separately, but many customers do prefer to buy plans since there are often price benefits and it's a convenient and easier way to buy multiple licenses. The first 3 plans that you see are business plans, and you can think of these as aimed at the smaller customer since they're technically limited to 300 users for each plan. You can see the difference between Business Essentials and Business Premium is whether you're allowed to install the Office apps on a PC. Then there are 2 licenses for all the different ways of licensing Office, and you can see that Office 365 Business is limited to 300 users, while Office 365 Pro Plus allows an unlimited number of licenses purchased for the same company. There are some differences in use rights between Office 365 Business and Office 365 Pro Plus too. Then there are the other plans aimed at businesses who don't want to be restricted with the 300 user limit. F1 is aimed at a type of user called a first-line worker, someone who doesn't use a PC all day, every day, but does need a good, appropriate level of technology. An example of a first-line worker might be a doctor, for example. Then E1 and E3 are broadly equivalent to Business Essentials and Business Premium, and Office 365 E5 includes access to all of the Office 365 services, including the specialist tools. And so to EMS. EMS is all about offering an organisation a suite of tools that helps them to securely enable a mobile solution. You can see the individual tools at the bottom of the slide, and it's those individual products that form the suite that is EMS. Microsoft tools map to the enterprise mobility needs of organisations. So first of all, we have Azure Active Directory Premium and Cloud App Security, and these products enable identity and access management. Do you know who's connecting to your infrastructure, and do people have access to the things that they should do? Then Intune offers a complete mobile device management solution as more devices are added to an organisation, or a mobile application management solution as users bring in their own devices and don't want them completely managed at the device level. And finally, Azure Information Protection Premium enables you to limit data leakage so that documents aren't stored in insecure places or sent to the wrong people. And Azure Advanced Threat Protection for Users is a cloud-based security solution that helps you to detect and investigate security incidents across your networks. Now again, customers could buy licenses for the individual components if they wanted to, or the EMS suite. And here you can see the difference between the two suites, EMS E3 and E5, with again more functionality being available in E5. And as we said with Office 365, the Plan 2 includes everything that is in Plan 1 as well. So let's bring everything together now with Microsoft 365. The user subscription for Microsoft 365 offers a customer a convenient way of licensing the Windows 10 and Office 365 components that a user needs, along with the tools that the IT department needs to make sure that a user's devices are secure and well managed. Microsoft 365 is a single license for all of these components, and it's more cost effective than buying the components separately. And since it's a user license, it licenses that user to use the tools on up to 5 devices. Businesses, of course, have different needs in terms of exactly which Office 365 plan or edition of Windows 10 is right for them. And so there are different flavours of Microsoft 365 available. So let's take a look at the members of the Microsoft 365 family. So we know that the members of the family combine Office 365 and Windows 10 and then features from EMS for security and management. First of all, we have Microsoft 365 Enterprise E3 and E5. This is aimed at organisations of all sizes and combines the E3 or E5 flavours of all of the products. Then we have Microsoft 365 Business, which has a subset of features aimed at the smaller business, and this, as you might expect, is technically limited to 300 users. And finally, Microsoft 365 F1. And again, this is aimed at those users who still need the productivity tools. They still need to use a secure and well-managed device, but perhaps, as we look at the truck driver there, they don't spend all day every day at that device, and generally they need a lesser set of tools. This is the perfect complement to Microsoft 365 E3, perhaps, where a larger business may have a variety of users, and indeed organisations may mix and match any members of the Microsoft 365 family. And now to our last section, Dynamics 365, which offers CRM and ERP functionality. More on those in a moment. As you might expect, the Dynamics 365 products are licensed with user subscription licenses, although there are also some device subscription licenses available just to keep us on our toes and, of course, to aid in customer flexibility for the solutions they need. We're going to take a look at what CRM and ERP are here. But if you want more detail on Dynamics licensing, and it is a bit of a specialised area, then there are more detailed modules available on Get Licensing Ready that you may want to work through. So what is CRM? Well, it stands for, as you can see, Customer Relationship Management. And essentially, it's a collection of solutions or apps that improve how you, as a business, interact and do business with your customers all in one place. So perhaps I need to be able to store and manage all of my customer accounts and contact information and track my activities associated with them. I need to track and manage leads and opportunities in my sales pipeline. I also might need to manage customer service issues as cases and track service levels and to allow my service agents to connect with customers through the channel of their choice. On the marketing side, I might want to run targeted campaigns and manage product lists and price lists. And maybe I want to integrate with social media to manage brand reputation and to assess the sentiment of my customers. And you can imagine in a bigger business, it's going to be different people working in different parts of the business in charge of all of these things. And of course, they're going to need software that supports the role that they do. Equally, as a business, we want a fully integrated solution so that as we've captured all of this customer data, we're able to turn it into tangible and actionable insights across our customers across the whole of the business. So Dynamics 365 offers CRM functionality. You've got a flavour of it there. Also offers ERP. Let's have a look at that. So ERP stands for Enterprise Resource Planning, and what this does is it joins up the core processes that form the backbone of the operations and project management functions in a business. For example, I need to be able to manage all those business processes associated with invoicing and accounts, and I need to streamline those routine record keeping tasks and processes related to staffing the organisation. And if I work in a retail environment, I need to manage a wide range of business processes like merchandising and inventory and channel management capabilities. And of course, I might even have actual retail stores to manage as well. And again, having captured this data across my business, I do need to be able to transform it into actionable insights so that I can make improvements and work on those business processes. Now, customers can choose to focus on Dynamics CRM solutions or the ERP ones, or they can deploy both across their business, depending on exactly what their business needs are, and the licensing gives them the flexibility to do that. So I hope you've enjoyed this session on Microsoft Online Services and their licensing. Why not download the handout that supports this video and take the associated exam on the Get Licensing Ready site now. Now, depending on your own interests and needs, you might want to work through some of the other modules on the Get Licensing Ready site and achieve some of the certifications available there. In the meantime though, good luck with this exam. Bye-bye now.